Aside from the several defenses comrades have developed to shield themselves from criticisms of white chauvinism, several other errors have been made in the tendency. 1. The most significant of the errors is that comrades are not held accountable for their errors, changing their practice. Having identified their set of white chauvinist views and practice in relation to national minorities, comrades are not held accountable for how they've changed the quality of their relationships with national minorities. In cadre organizations where comrades are accountable for their mass work, they don't struggle with each other to carry the concrete lessons learned in the ideological struggle to their mass work. Comrades must not be allowed to wear their good self-criticisms as a badge for their anti-racist stance. Practice, not self-criticisms, is the criterion for truth. In addition to this error, several others have been made. 2. Comrades reduce any and all errors to manifestations of white chauvinism. This is the flip side of the defense spoken to earlier, where comrades say it's anything but white chauvinism. For example, in taking up the struggle against federationism, comrades may say the only ideological root is racism, negating the role of small circle spirit and empiricism. This reductionist tendency on the part of comrades liquidates any struggle around other deviations from Marxism-Leninism and makes a sham of the struggle against white chauvinism. 3. One or a few comrades are identified as the racist and are scapegoated. The comrade is treated like a leper and no one wants to talk to him/her. White comrades abdicate their responsibility to continuously struggle with the comrade to move forward and become complacent in criticizing others because the real racist has been identified and exposed. Comrades liquidate the struggle against white chauvinism and protect themselves by maintaining the conspiracy of white chauvinism among everyone except the racist. This is a collective form of posturing, protecting oneself from criticism by scapegoating another comrade. 4. Comrades develop the break mentality. They think that once they've made a break with their racism, come to understand one or some manifestations or pattern of their white chauvinism and changed their practice, that they have broken with white chauvinism altogether and no longer need to be conscious of how they are continuously influenced by it and must consistently struggle against it. This mechanical approach to the struggle leads comrades to become demoralized when they inevitably do make more white chauvinist errors. They think that the new errors place them back at the beginning, that the break they'd previously made was not genuine. And the break mentality causes other white comrades to liquidate the forward movement of fellow white comrades. For when they see someone whom they thought had made the break make a racist error, they conclude the person hasn't made genuine steps forward in the struggle against white chauvinism. 5. Comrades use organizational methods to resolve a political problem. That is, they expel people or remove them from leadership even though they have demonstrated a willingness to struggle and have made some forward motion. Comrades take on an all-or-nothing attitude rather than struggling with someone to move forward. This liquidates the struggle against white chauvinism, because a comrade is expelled or removed from leadership in the place of taking up struggle with him or her to move forward. It's important to understand, however, that when a comrade is obstructing the forward motion of the collective, removal from leadership is appropriate, and if a comrade is refusing to struggle, expulsion is appropriate. Point 6. All white comrades are lumped together and the leadership of those stepping forward is not recognized. This attitude, "we're all in the same spot," breeds pessimism about the possibility of making advances in the struggle against white chauvinism. It protects the white petty bourgeois strata in our movement, protects them from taking a proletarian class stand on the struggle against racism. It also undermines those who are stepping forward in the struggle. It's a drive to pull those comrades back into the sewer along with the ones who insist on protecting the interests of the bourgeoisie. 7. Those comrades who have stepped forward are often criticized with a vengeance when they make errors. The comrade who has broken with the conspiracy of white chauvinism and exposes others' racism is resented by those still participating in the conspiracy. So when the comrade who has moved forward gets criticized, The ones who were previously exposed by him or her are happy to see the comrade get criticized and take up the struggle to get back at him or her rather than to move the comrade forward. Like the comrades in the above, they are trying to tear someone down, drag him or her into the mire along with themselves in order to protect the interests of the bourgeoisie and avoid having to take a proletarian class stand themselves. 8. White comrades make the error of abstract equality in relation to national minority comrades. They place a national minority comrade in leadership regardless of his or her ability to take on the task, because a white comrade in leadership has made white chauvinist errors. This is done regardless of the quality of the white comrade's all-sided leadership skills and the impact of his or her white chauvinism or his or her all-sided tasks. Comrades liquidate the struggle against white chauvinism by using organizational methods to resolve a political problem and compound this with the error of abstract equality flowing from their racist paternalism. Point 9. A comrade becomes the great white prosecutor and takes on the role of uncovering everybody's racism. The great white prosecutor becomes the sole agent in the struggle against white chauvinism and is allowed to run around pointing the finger at everybody rather than take up a genuine struggle with comrades. This lets everyone else off the hook. They don't have to struggle with people, that's the prosecutor's job. And comrades don't take up genuine struggle with the prosecutor in order to move him or her forward. 10. Comrades talk about the ugliest, grossest thoughts they have about national minorities rather than capturing the essence of their white chauvinist ideology. This breast-beating approach to the struggle keeps comrades from having to identify their overall views and pattern of practice in relation to national minorities. Thus they won't have to rectify their errors. In addition to straying from the Marxist-Leninist path to the struggle against white chauvinism, it provides others with an excuse not to participate in the struggle. Outside observers will look at this approach to the struggle and say, if that's what it's all about, I'm not going to be a part of it. While any honest comrade interested in a Marxist-Leninist approach to the struggle would come in and strive for the correct approach, this error and others provide those who protect the white and petty bourgeois nature of our movement with a cover. 11. Comrades become so consumed and preoccupied with the struggle against racism that they liquidate the other tasks of the OCIC, like taking up the draft plan. Comrades are so busy bracing themselves for criticisms of racism, or so consumed with hiding out, they don't prepare for the other agenda items for the local center meetings. This tendency has served to hold back the overall work of the OCIC. While the struggle against white chauvinism is central to our ability to move forward in our other tasks, we certainly cannot afford to allow the struggle to obstruct our overall progress because comrades' white chauvinism keeps them from placing the struggle in its proper perspective. All of these errors have white chauvinism at their root and serve to maintain it in our movement. We can expect to make errors in the struggle against white chauvinism as in any struggle. If these errors are correctly summed up, the struggle will be advanced. We should avoid repeating those errors which have already been summed up, and be able to recognize and rectify new ones we make in the future.